because of our Divine Mother. Our Divine Mother says, at the very moment when everything seems to go from bad to worse, it is then that we must make a supreme act of faith and know that the grace will never fail us. With always our love and blessings, says our Divine Mother. Sri Aurobindo's Savitri, Book 1, The Book of Beginnings, Canto 4, The Secret Knowledge, page 80. An expert captain of a fragile craft, a trafficker in small, impermanent wares. At first, he hugs the shore and shuns the breadths, dares not to a friend the far-off perilous main. He in a petty coastal traffic plies, his pay doled out from port to neighbor port, content with his safe round's unchanging course. He hazards not the new and the unseen, but now he hears the sound of larger seas. A widening world calls him to distant scenes and journeyings in a large vision's arc, and peoples unknown and still unvisited shores. On a commissioned keel, his merchant hull serves the world's commerce in the riches of time, severing the foam of a great land-locked sea to reach unknown harbor lights in distant climes and open markets for life's opulent arts, rich bales, carved statues, hued canvases, and jeweled toys brought for an infant's play, and perishable products of hard toil, and transient splendors won and lost by the days, or passing through a gate of pillar rocks, venturing not yet to cross oceans unnamed, and journeying into a dream of distances. He travels close to unfamiliar coasts and finds new heaven in storm-troubled isles, or guided by a sure compass in his thought, he plunges through a bright haze that hides the stars, steering on the trade routes of ignorance. His prow pushes towards undiscovered shores. He chances on unimagined continents. A seeker of the islands of the blessed, he leaves the last lands, crosses the ultimate seas. He turns to eternal things, his simple quest. Life changes for him, its time-constructed scenes, its images veiling infinity. Darshan Day Messages, 15th August 1929. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo's birthday. On that day, our Lord Sri Aurobindo gave a message. The divine gives itself to those who give themselves without reserve and in all their parts to the divine. For them, the calm, the light, the power, the bliss, the freedom, the wideness, the heights of knowledge, the seas of Ananda. And Lord Sri Aurobindo says, it is not by your mind that you can hope to understand the divine and its action, but by the growth of the true and divine consciousness within you. If the divine were to unveil and reveal itself in all its glory, the mind might feel a presence, but it would not understand its action or its nature. It is in the measure of your own realization and by the birth and growth of that greater consciousness in yourself that you will see the divine and understand its action even behind its terrestrial disguises. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo gave the message on 15th August 1931 and says, to bring the divine love and beauty and ananda into the world is indeed the whole crown and essence of our integral yoga. But it has always seemed to me impossible unless there comes as its support and foundation and guard the divine truth, what I call the supramental and its divine power. On 15th August 1947, our Divine Mother gave the message called Invocation and said, O Mother Soul, O Soul of India, Mother who has never forsaken thy children, even in the days of darkest depression, even when they turn away from thy voice, served other masters and denied thee, now when they have arisen, and the light is on thy face in this dawn of thy liberation, in this great hour, we salute thee. Guide us so that the horizon of freedom opening before us may be also a horizon of true greatness and of thy true life in the community of the nations. Guide us so that we may be always on the side of great ideals and show to men thy true visage as a leader in the ways of the Spirit and a friend and helper of all peoples. Our Divine Mother stated, it will soon be a year since one Wednesday we had the manifestation of the supramental force. Since then, it has been working very actively, even while very few people are aware of it. But still, I thought the time had come for us to help it a little in its work by making an effort of receptivity. Of course, it does not work only in the ashram. It is working in the whole world, in all places where there is some receptivity. This force is at work. And I must say, the ashram hasn't an exclusive receptivity in the world, the monopoly of receptivity. Our Divine Mother spoke about Sri Aurobindo's birthday. And then the child asks the Divine Mother and says, Sweet Mother, you spoke of Sri Aurobindo's birth as eternal in the history of the universe. What exactly was meant by eternal? For this, our Divine Mother says, the sentence can be understood in 4 different ways on 4 ascending planes of consciousness. First, physically, the consequence of the birth will be of eternal importance to the world. Second, mentally, it is a birth that will be eternally remembered in the universal history. Third, psychically, a birth that recurs forever from age to age upon earth. Fourth, spiritually, the birth of the eternal upon earth, says our Divine Mother. And then our Divine Mother speaks in Mona Sarkar's Blessings of the Grace in page 109 and says, there, the manifestation of the truth. To be in front of his room is to perceive the absolute consciousness. He who knows how to open himself, truly open himself wide and spontaneously, will find his invariable help for everything. It is unbelievable, it is invincible and all powerful. Do not pretend. In front of him, one has to be straightforward, scrupulously frank and sincere, and one has to simply open oneself to be able to feel his beatitude. It is extraordinary, the power of his reality. No one could stand and no one could bear it if he reveals himself in his entirety. That is why I was warning you in advance. Never pretend or make a semblance that you are one of those who have the permission to stand before his room. It vibrates with his presence. Be happy and make of your life a consecration for accomplishing his work here below. It is an exceptional opportunity. Be worthy of it and do not waste time. What a marvel, what a power, what grandeur. The one who was with us, his power, his force still vibrates in his room. It is a place for a meditation and for receiving the vibration of the truth which it emits. It is charged. The presence of Sri Aurobindo is palpably felt by one who is sincere, says our Divine Mother. Significance of Darshan days. Our Divine Mother says in the collective works of our Divine Mother, Question and Answers of 1956, page 262, our Divine Mother says, in the days when Sri Aurobindo used to give darshan, before he gave it, there was always a concentration of certain forces or of a central realization which he wanted to give to people. And so each darshan marked a stage forward. Each time something was added. But this was at a time when the number of visitors were very limited. It was organized in another way. It was part of the necessary preparation. But this special concentration now occurs at other times, not particularly on darshan. And it occurs much more often on other kinds of occasions in other circumstances. The moment is much accelerated. The march forward, the stages succeed each other much more rapidly, and perhaps it is more difficult to follow, or in any case, if one does not take care to keep up, one is much more quickly outdistanced than before. One gets the feeling of being late or being abandoned. Things change quickly. Our Divine Mother says, and I ought to say that these darshan times, with all this rush of people, serve not so much for an inner progress, that is to say, inside the ashram, as for a diffusion outside. The use we make of these days is a little different. Above all, it is to go farther, have a vaster field, reach more distant points, but the concentration is less And there is this inconvenience of a large crowd, which was always there, but which has been much greater than these last years than at the beginning. At the beginning, there was not such a crowd, and perhaps the quality of the crowd was also a little different, says our Divine Mother. Question, sweet mother, what is the significance of the message you give every darshan? This is from the collective works of our Divine Mother, year 1956, page 263. Our Divine Mother says, yes, as I've always told you, this is spread in thousands of copies all over the world. It is an externalization of the thing. It is a way of spreading the influence, spreading the message, reaching farther. Everything that is said in a darshan message has been studied, proved, tested beforehand, and on darshan day it is given. First, the experiment is made, then it is declared publicly. The first moment is the individual development at the darshan time. It is spread abroad. Our Divine Mother says, Sri Aurobindo always spoke of two moments. The formation of the individual in order to be able to reach the goal individually, and the preparation of the world. For the progress of the individual is, so to say, not exactly delayed or helped by the condition of the whole, but this brings about a certain balance between the two. The individual movement is always much more rapid and more penetrating. It goes farther, more deeply, more quickly. The collective movement forms a sort of basis which both restrains and supports at the same time. And it is the balance between these two movements which is necessary. So, the more rapidly one goes individually, the more necessary it is to try to extend and strengthen the collective basis, says our Divine Mother.